The old house was cheap for a reason. No one who moved in ever stayed. When Samuel first heard about the house, he didn't believe the rumors. People always talk. They're just trying to scare buyers away, he told himself. The price was unbelievably low. A full house in a quiet area for less than half its value. To Samuel, it felt like luck. To everyone else, it felt like a warning. But Samuel needed a fresh start, and this house felt like an opportunity. The house stood at the end of a silent street. Old, faded paint, windows that looked too dark, even during the day. Still, nothing seemed truly wrong. Not at first. The agent was quick. Too quick. "Are you sure you don't want to inspect it longer?" Samuel asked. The man forced a smile. "It's a good deal. It won't last." That should have been a sign.
And
but
just
Samuel
like that,
signed the papers.
The house was his. The first night was quiet. Too quiet. No sound of neighbours, no distant traffic, not even insects. Just silence. Samuel lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Then, a soft sound. Knock. He sat up. Knock, knock. It was coming from inside the house, not the door, not the window, from somewhere deeper. Samuel grabbed his phone light and stepped into the hallway. "Hello?" he called. No response. The knocking stopped, just like that. He checked every room. Nothing. "Old house," he whispered. "Probably pipes." But deep down, he wasn't convinced. The next few days were strange. Things moved. Not dramatically.
Just slightly. A chair turned. A door left open that he clearly remembered closing. And every night, the knocking returned. Always from a different place. Always at the same time. 3 a.m. One night, Samuel decided to ignore it. He covered his head with a pillow. The knocking grew louder, more urgent. Knock, knock, knock. Then it changed. It wasn't knocking anymore. It sounded like scratching. Slow, deliberate, like something trying to get out. Samuel couldn't take it anymore. The next morning he asked around. The neighbours were distant, avoiding eye contact. Until finally an old woman spoke. "You moved into that house?" she asked quietly. Samuel nodded. She shook her head slowly. "That house doesn't like people." Samuel frowned. "What do you mean?" She leaned closer. "The last man who lived there said he heard someone knocking from inside the walls. He disappeared 2 weeks later." Samuel forced a laugh. "That's just a story." The woman didn't smile. "They all say that." That night, Samuel stayed awake, waiting, watching. 3 a.m., right on time. Knock. But this time, it was closer, right beside him, on the wall next to his bed. Samuel froze. Knock, knock. He slowly turned his head. The wall
was moving. Just slightly, like something pressing against it from the inside. His breath caught. Then, a faint voice. Help. Samuel jumped back. No, this isn't real, he whispered. The voice came again. Help me. The next day, Samuel beat tools. If something was inside the wall, he needed to know. He stood in his room, staring at the exact spot, the same spot where the knocking came from. His hands trembled. Then he swung. The wall cracked. Dust filled the air. He hit it again, and again, until finally a hole opened. Darkness stared back at him, and a smell, rotten, heavy. Samuel stepped closer, raising his light, and then he saw it. A hand. Dry, pale, still, reaching out from inside the wall. Samuel screamed and stumbled back. His heart pounded wildly. This wasn't possible. It couldn't be. But it was. He called the police. They arrived quickly. They broke open the wall completely. Inside, they found a body, or what was left of one. Hidden, forgotten, buried within the house itself. The officers exchanged uneasy looks. This isn't recent, one of them said. This has been here for years. Samuel felt sick. The house was hiding bodies. For a moment, Samuel thought it was over. They removed the remains, cleaned the place, told him it was safe now. But that night, at exactly 3 a.m., the knocking returned. Louder, angrier. And now, it wasn't just one spot. It came from every wall, every corner, every direction. Then, the voice returned. But this time, it was different, clearer, stronger. And it said something that froze Samuel's blood. You found him, but you didn't find the rest of us. Samuel's eyes widened. The walls started to move, slowly, breathing, closing in. And then he understood. The house wasn't haunted by one spirit. It was filled with them. Trapped, hidden, waiting. And now they knew he could hear them. The next morning, the neighbors noticed something strange. Samuel's car was still outside, the door slightly open. But Samuel was gone. No signs of struggle, no goodbye, nothing. Just silence. And if you stand near that house, very late at night, at exactly 3 a.m., you might hear it too. Knock, knock, knock. And if you listen closely, you'll hear a new voice, desperate, faint, crying out from inside the walls. Help me.